episode of SiXFramesPodcast. Episode 16.
Me 29.
Yeah.
Episode 16. We talk about, this is a podcast where we talk about video games, anime, comics, and 420 Blaze It, because today is 420.
Hey.
I'm not sure if anyone remembered, but it's weed day, y'all.
That's
Snoop Dogg.
That's right. Kevin and Jamal went out to go get smokes and they never came back.
Yep. Today was a day. It makes sense.
It's okay. You got Uncle Miles here. I got you.
They abandoned us.
Yep. And they left us children with the podcast while they go out to get their smokes. Anyways, as you notice, Jamal and Kevin's not here, so I'll be hosting. I'm hosting, so we'll go around talking to. God damn. All right. So we got Lamp here.
Satan.
Gerardo.
Zed, also known as Miles.
Oh, we got Jacob here.
Clea.
And that's the cast. That's the cast. So we'll start off the topics with Sabrina Part 2. We're both gonna put on her headphone because she don't want to be spoiled, but that's all right.
Silent.
So,
Please.
Meanwhile, the rest of us just sit here and sips our tea.
so Sabrina Part 2 finally came out on Netflix. All the episodes are out. I only saw 2 episodes, but Zed, Jacob, and Clea, they've seen the whole thing. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk about.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I told you I had trouble just. All right, I'll save it for later.
Oh, okay. You had. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah, I forgot.
I'm up to date.
They with the first season.
The first season.
Not the second.
I started
season.
watching it in the second season, and then that bit we were watched earlier. That's all I know.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess it'll just be.
I can give my input. But that's
yeah, that'll be cool. So I guess it'll just be me, Clea, and Jacob. And I'm only going to talk about the first 2 episodes because that's the only one I watched. So Sabrina Part 2. How y'all feel about it?
You want to start?
Yeah, you can start.
Well, ladies first.
All right,
go.
Clea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I watched every single episode, and you know what? I loved it. I thought it was picking up more speed compared to the first season because you know how the first seasons are. It's usually they throw in the story and then the action comes in later. So, but yeah, there's a lot more action. There's a lot more.
You said action?
Yeah, there's quite a few things that happen in season 2.
Crazy thing.
Oh.
Crazy things.
Okay, get it juicy.
Damn, Jacob.
Huh?
Spilling the tea now, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's for sipping, not spilling.
Continue, Clea.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot more action, a lot more craziness happening. I mean, again, I love the magic genre. I love it, so I obviously enjoyed the season. I also like the fact that Aunt Hilda, we get to see more of her. Mm-hmm. She became a little less part of her sister's shadow. She kind of helps Sabrina throughout more or less her journey.
So she grows more as a character. As her own
I like to think
character.
that, yeah.
Alright, good.
So that's good.
That's nice to know.
Yeah. And we get to see a little bit more about, Sabrina's side friends, a little bit more. And, yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty great. If you're into it, I think you should maybe just take a little peek. Continue watching the series, but yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, Jacob, what about you?
Bruh, you already know how I feel about this show.
Praise Satan.
Huh?
Hey, at least I didn't say hail.
This is so
Bible on deck.
Bruh,
You got the Bible on the back.
What's tomorrow again? What is it? What's tomorrow, Jacob?
What?
Easter.
It's Easter Sunday.
Oh.
Oh, you talking about sacrilegious? S-H-I-T. Just for those who don't know, we are in a different casa, and we got to make this PG.
To a point.
So, my theory is, if it's in the Bible, I can say it. So I'm gonna talk all I want. Damn it.
Damn it is not in the Bible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Damn thy nations.
The word damn it?
The word damn it and damned, ass, piss, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, hell, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
So, praise Satan.
Alright.
Praise Satan.
No. Why am I saying alright? Beaver's down.
Beaver's down. That's a good one. I like that. That was a good one.
Well, I've never read the Bible, so I wouldn't know.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It really doesn't.
No. I bet if I threw one at her and she caught it, you'd see smoke coming out of her hands.
Anyways,
I stay away from it.
anyways, Jacob,
Yeah.
Sabrina, part 2. What'd you think about it?
Okay, so you already know how I feel about it.
What out of 10?
It was actually pretty good, man. I would say 7 out of 10 because you know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I get you.
But like, the story and the character development was crazy good. I couldn't stop watching, bro. I had to go to work today. Stop watching. I can't watch it. I didn't care, so I kept watching. But overall, like, the story really picks off. Like, as soon as it is, you remember, like, in season 1, at the end of it, Sabrina signs her name in the book. And we get to see her utilize her powers more in this season. Also, her friends play a very important role. Just like in season 1, but they do more of an active role here.
Which ones? Her new one or her mortal friends?
Well, her mortal friends and some of her witch friends.
Oh, okay.
Some of them kind of made it seem like they're not her friends, but you'll figure it out when you saw.
Oh,
when you
okay.
watch
All
it.
right.
So honestly speaking, though, like, I wanted more, man. I really wanted more because it felt like, we're going back to the whole Mrs. Worldwell manipulating the strings behind everything, and the Dark Lord and all this tug and pull, and Sabrina being naive about it, thinking that she got everything under her hands, like she's getting control over everything, but in reality she's not.
Yeah.
So it's like it plays into that a lot more. It gets you frustrated, but you're like, okay, I want to see what she's gonna do, but but yeah, but like I practically enjoyed it. I can't wait for season 3. It looks like it's you want to tease that.
So how does when the series when the season ended, like how do you feel about like going into season 3? Like do you think there's more to like build up on?
Yes, a lot.
Oh,
it's
boy.
really the last episode.
Oh my god.
Son, I needed Jesus to cleanse me of my sins.
You want to stop the podcast so I can just feel
the
steering?
You know that meme with the kid where he's got the cross and he's like, he's got his hand out and he's crying. He's like backing up in the corner. That was Jacob.
Son, way too much, but I'm looking forward.
Like Jacob was saying, the way they ended it, at first I thought it was going to end a different way, but then once I kept on watching it, it ended it turned out to go a different route, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be even more intense because they're going to delve into something else.
Oh boy, I hate this. This is torture.
Yeah, bro.
And I mean, Lord, I don't know how they're going to do season 3, but if it ended that way, man, we're going to be seeing a lot more.
Tables flipped.
So here's the thing. So since I saw the first 2 episodes, the thing that I liked the most was that the Dark Lord Satan himself had been showing himself a lot
lately. Yeah.
So like,
So did he do that in this season?
No, I mean, since the first 2 episodes, he's been showing himself a lot. So like throughout the rest of the episodes, like how heavy of a role has he played?
For a very heavy role.
Because like in the first season, it was mostly
just like
the hype. No, what was his name?
Faustus.
Yeah, it was mostly him that was like sort of the antagonist. Trying to get her to sign the book. Yeah. Until Satan just finally appeared in front of her and all that thing that happens in the last few episodes. Mm-hmm. And what's up?
He's like, yo, baby girl, let me get your number. Sign your name in my book. What are all these other girls' names? Don't mind them. They done ain't nothing.
But yeah, so Satan, like, when Satan shows himself, like, in the last few episodes, or the last episode itself, he made his presence clear. Yeah. And, like, then from the episode that I've seen, he's made his presence, like, even more clear by, like, giving Sabrina the devil's claw. Yeah. And then, like, also, I'm sorry, like, when I say Satan, it's funny because, like, you think of, like, the way he's developed from what I've seen so far is like he's been developed as like the purest of evil but you don't even see it as that evil. Like when he first tells, like, I'm sorry, Merzabel, spoilers, but one of the big things about I think episode 2 or 1 was that he finally requested a service from Sabrina. which was, "Hey yo, give me a pack of Hubba Bubba." And I'm like, "What?
Really?
Word?" But what's interesting is that, from what Aunt Hilda said, was that, yeah, sure, it's just one small act, but then it gets harder and harder over time, and then when you do like one bad act, it gets easier and easier to continue doing that bad act until you like become a full bad apple.
Yeah.
So that sort of like not proves, but like that sort of shows like how, pure evil Satan is. Like he doesn't just straight up goes on and say, "Oh, kill this guy or kill this person." I want to see your devotion to me. I want to see you earn my trust. Like trust me, so that I could be like, all right, I could trust you to do some other stuff. So that's one of the things I really liked about the first two episodes of Sabrina. And if Satan plays a bigger role, like you guys said, then I'm looking forward to that. Harold, you say you wanted to add something?
I was going to add on to that, so kind of like temptation.
Yeah,
Easier
pretty
gets,
much.
the harder
Yes.
it gets
So
out.
you just trying to like eat off of you. And another thing that sort of interested me, like you guys said, action. Last time I checked, the most action we got was from season 1. Don't worry, from season 1 from
First episode.
Well, the first episode, and also like from the scenes with the 4 horsemen, something like the witches.
Oh, you're.
Yeah.
I forgot what they were called.
Yeah, I forgot what they're called.
But they were like the 4 horsemen.
Yeah, pretty much. They was like when they had to like save the school and save everybody in the town. That was like the most action that we've got that I can remember. And if you guys think that there's more action, I'm all in.
Bro, you see how many times I keep sighing? Bro, I'm telling you, it gets so hype, man. I can't. Bro.
You see? There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. It gets so hyped to the point where it's like, dang, I want to see more. Like I told you before. And also, going back to Faustus, he plays a villainy role even more this season.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, you're gonna see that more. You're gonna hate that nigga, right? You're gonna hate him, bro. You're really gonna hate him even more because it just feels like he's just out to set his own goals without, seeking guidance from the person for the being that he, for the Dark Lord. I don't want to say.
Look. Next time you want to say that name, you just poke me and I'll say it. All right.
Voldemort.
Jacob, first test. Satan.
Right. So, yeah, like seeking guidance from
Satan. I feel like we're doing that bit with that one white guy and that black guy when he was trying to say the N word, and every time the black guy would say it, he's like, "What's up, black guy?" Igga.
But yeah, it's like he's trying to set himself up as the person who's willing to do anything to get his goal straight without relying on the being
Satan
for power.
Oh, okay. So he had his own agenda.
Pretty much.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
But
don't sing this, dude.
I can't read my phone.
Hey, girl, calm down.
I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it doesn't always work out.
I've seen so far.
So, and because it doesn't work out, things kind of take a different turn. And I don't want to say anymore because I don't want to spoil it.
You done finished this?
You know what? Good save. I will say that. Good save.
Oh, I want to finish it so badly. Harold, you want to add something more?
I was, but I completely forgot.
Oh, damn.
Oh, no, that's what I would say. So, should we have like a little counter there for every time Jacob sighs? Because I already cut to 5 already.
Hey, he's using me for a reason.
No,
That's like a censor button.
No, not for that. I think about.
Oh, it was like Jacob's sign?
He's trying not to.
Yeah, it's like, I'm telling you, I'm too hype. I'm way too hype. It's hard to contain it. I'm just pretending like I'm...
It's alright.
You see? There you go. That's 6.
I'm just pretending that I'm composed, calm, and collected, but inside of me, bro, hey, boy, I want to tell you everything.
Alright, so another thing I wanted to ask about Sabrina, I'm sorry, I'm really low, but another thing was the whole idea of the sexism that's in Sabrina, and how it sort of, in a way, it sort of focuses on it more based on the first 2 episodes from what I've seen. So I can only go up to the 2 episodes. So, like for an example, Theo.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like how does Theo plays in because like oh, man, I want to say this because it was so funny when Theo had the rope.
Bruh. Snap your fingers. Do the step. You can do it all by yourself.
I'm sorry. But bro. When I say Theo, I met what was her name again? Her original name?
Susie.
Susie, one of Sabrina's mortal friends. Her name was Susie, and then she wanted to join oh my god. I'm sorry, Merzabel. And she wanted to join a basketball team, a whole boys basketball team, and she joined. She couldn't really do well, and Sabrina came in, gave a little cheat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Got A, B, A, C, C,
yeah,
D.
Chico.
Up, down, left, right.
And she
down,
made a
down.
team, but then after she made the team, she decided to call herself Theo because she wants to feel more like a man or a boy or however way you want to see it.
Yeah. So far, like from the past 2 episodes, it's been really heavily focusing on like equality and the women's right and equality and all that stuff. And it doesn't bother me in the slightest, but like I guess the way they're trying to push it is that like witches are sort of like below warlocks and all that stuff, and they're trying to find a way to like rise themselves up too. Yeah. So like an equality in like the wizarding world. What's up, Cleo?
What I was gonna say is the way I saw it, the way I interpreted it, I thought it had to do more like challenging old traditions.
Yeah, pretty much challenging old traditions. Yeah. So like. It's pretty much like our world, but with the wizards because they are very old tradition.
Yeah.
And like, I think they started they sort of started breaking it when what's his name? Fawcett.
Faust.
When Fawcett.
Was it Faust or Faustus?
I think it was Faustus.
Yeah, Faustus.
When Faustus made the play.
Yeah.
And he decided to like rewrite it. Mm-hmm. And it sort of like shows that he's like sort of through with the old traditions too, to a point. So like everyone's like changing gradually, but it's like Sabrina's like the one that's like charging through.
So it's like Christmas.
Huh?
Christmas was originally a pagan holiday. It was the help of the church that they turned it into Jolly Saint Nick.
Oh. Well, that's your history lesson, y'all. You
yeah.
see? Y'all
Same
learn stuff from here too. Y'all learn.
Yeah, because it's more of a Nordic pagan holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Where there was a Saint Nick, but it wasn't like there was a Santa, but not the Saint Nicholas.
That we know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see.
It was called Yule. Like they talked about it in Sabrina with the Christmas special. Yeah. That was the holiday.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
I ain't watch it.
Well, you can get on Netflix later and watch it. Sponsored by Netflix.
No, it's not. It is not.
We wish.
Please sponsor us.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, anything else you guys want to add for Sabrina Part 2?
Well, piggybacking on the fact about the sexuality thing, I feel like it gets downplayed later on when things start to get amped up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It did kind of bother me a little bit because it's like it's just throwing in your face and and it's like okay, I see Theo.
Like it feels too feminist.
It just feels like it's just,
a little bit. For me, it does a little bit.
It's just like not to dog on Fenn.
Jacob, stop talking. I get what you're saying. What you're saying is it's kind of pushed in there to the point where it's annoying, but you're not saying that the feminist theme isn't a bad thing, but when you shove it down yourself, Captain Marvel, that it becomes a bad thing.
Yeah, my point's exact. And it just feels like, okay, Theo played an important role.
She did?
Yes.
Please, thank you. I'm so tired of this character.
So you gonna see, bruh.
I hope she had
Did she
more
swing
ropes.
first? Did she swing first?
No, she helps a lot, man. And Ross, Sabrina's friend too, with the glasses.
I can see into the future.
Bro, she does a fantastic job, using her cunning powers even more in this season. Compared to season 1 when she was just finally, she was discovering it from her grandma and everything like that. Well, man, incredible.
I can't wait. Because right now she's starting to become one of my favorite characters alongside with Harvey.
Oh, Harvey Kinkle?
Yep.
Tinkle?
Tinkle.
Well, with Harvey, it gets pretty good too. I mean, at times it can go back and forth. His character can regress back to a point with Sabrina, but
Yeah.
once you get aside from all of that, yeah, it's all good, man.
Anything else, Lee? No?
Oh, I like the relationship between Sabrina and Nick.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
actually
that's
one of my
pretty good.
favorite dynamics. So that was fun to watch.
They're both saucy.
Yeah.
What's up, Miles?
So, I said this to Lamp earlier about that. I said how messed up would it be that, is it Henry or Harvey? Harvey, you know, because he comes from a line of witch hunters. He becomes a witch hunter.
I'm looking at your faces. Y'all
look like I just hit the hammer on the head of the nail right there.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
Okay, next topic before we get too indulgent.
I know, right? Jesus Christ. So that was Sabrina Part 2.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Yep.
Netflix.
It sounds crazy.
Pretty
It sounds
intense.
interesting. I'm sorry, Marisabel. I hope you watch it eventually. And now we're on to Black Simba.
Caca.
We'll leave this with, wait, who's seen Black Simba?
I've seen a little bit.
You've seen a little bit, and Cleve's seen Black Simba? Alright, and Zed have seen it. So we'll start off with Zed. Give us Black Simba.
I just thought of a dashy bit when you did that. Black Summer. Quick synopsis, and then I'll give you a good little rundown. Quick synopsis: zombies. A little rundown. Basically, instead of day one, which we're all zombie fans are kind of tired of seeing that now. It's a few weeks after, or like 2 days, or I don't know, like 2 months after. Kind of like 28 days later when Jim wakes up. Their government's still intact. They're like, hey, come to this and we'll get you to a safe area. So the whole synopsis, basically, of Black Summer is these group of survivors just getting to this stadium, because that is apparently where the safe zone or this evac center is. So they split it up into different little stories. So it'll say like this little episode, which is going on, for example, like this person's name, and then you'll see what happens to this person. So episode 1 is literally just explaining the characters. Episode 2 is explaining more of the journey, the adventure, and so on and so on and so on until eventually they reach the stadium. But that's kind of obvious. As I was watching, I kept thinking, I was like, I've heard this name before. Where did I hear this? And as I was watching the final episode, see production, Asylum Productions, and then I see based off of Z Nation. I was like, that's where I heard it. Because when the first season of Z Nation, they make a lot of references to this term called Black Summer, which is when the outbreak first happens. So, my favorite character was Sun. She couldn't speak a lick of English, but she was a badass.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I grew on her too.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She grew on me. So, how do you feel about the? Cause like it's still another zombie show. So how did you feel about this one? How does it differ from like the others?
It felt like World War Z zombies, but it wasn't just World War Z zombies. Because World War Z zombies is more raidy kind of thing, where you could fill them up with a bit of lead and they'll die like a normal person. These, you had to shoot them in the head for them to go down. I like how if you died, you came back. So it's not like not just a bite only kind of thing. It's like, but headshots still did the job. So that was pretty cool.
Anything else that make it stand out from all the others?
Well, now that I know that it's the same kind of production company and it's based off of, I'm going to go watch it and look for Easter eggs for Z Nation now. Because I was sitting there and I was like, well, that guy doesn't sound familiar. This guy doesn't sound familiar.
Now you want to see if there links back?
Yeah, I want to see if it links back.
That would be
But
cool if it
I
does.
like the characters. I forgot her name. The main blonde woman. I liked how she grew from a kind of scared woman to the end. Bat BA with a frickin' MP40 going to town. And then, I told you the one guy, William Velez. I thought he was pretty cool. I liked him a lot. He stepped up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that one kid. I forgot. I just called him Curly Q at the end because I didn't remember his name.
Oh yeah.
He stepped up a bit.
Yeah,
He's still skittish, but he stepped up a bit. He's still growing as a character, but yeah, son, not speaking a lick of English, saving everybody's butts back there. And then when she gets a gun, she's going to town. She's the only one making headshots. And Spears over here wasting ammo. Brrr, oh, new clip. Son comes over here, pushes him out of the way. Brrr. What did I do?
Oh my god. Oh man. And
That sounds fun.
Clea?
At first, I'll be honest, I was a little bit reluctant because I wasn't sure what I was going to get into, but then once I started watching the show, it actually made me get invested in the characters, at least for me. I was rooting for characters, and I was rooting for, like, groups, but then certain things happened, and I'm like, wow, that didn't work out.
They did Barbara dirty.
Oh, man.
They did Barbara dirty.
Oh, my God. I don't want to talk about that.
I'm not going to spoil it, but that's all I'm going to say. They did Barbara dirty.
That was going to be my trio, but I guess not.
I was sitting there watching that episode with us, and I was like, how BA would it be that this little old lady named Barbara come out on the last episode wielding a machete, holding some walkers on chains like Michonne, being like the whole Terminator, come with me if you want to live, kind of beat babe vibe. Then that happens.
Yep.
And you're just like, really? And that's when I was like, alright, you can't get too attached to characters. But there was like this one character, I was like, I want Son to make it. I want this other guy to make it. Other guy didn't make it, but Son did make it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah!
That's kind of like how the show is, because like you watch it, you see the characters, you like them, you want them, you root for them, and you hope that they survive. But then next thing you know,
They did.
Oh, fair warning. Fair warning to every watcher. If you have bad anxiety, pause. Because I don't have anxiety, but I was getting anxiety watching this thing. This show, it's like okay, it's just a zombie show. Of course, it's gonna be a little jump scary stuff like that. Nah, you get involved with the character. You're kind of like, get out of there, kid! Stop doing that. It is like super intense at times, and other times you're just like, okay, they're fine, they're safe. Something comes out. No! Be over with it. Stop tormenting them.
Oh man, Harold. Based on what they've said, like since you only watched like half an episode, do you feel like you might want to like come back in and watch?
I will definitely come back to it, since now I got to see what happens to Barbara now.
I know, right?
And then a question for you, Miles. Since you were mentioning about the zombies, you saying they were like a lot harder to kill, so are they like more agile in this one, or is it just... Like...
No, what I was saying is they're like your basic zombie where you shoot it in the head and it'll die. You shoot it in the chest, it's going to fall over and then get back up and be like, what's good?
Oh, okay, so
what's
it's like
really
Resident
good?
Evil 2 zombies.
You eat all... He's like eating his beans and then gets up, you eat all my beans? No, but like I was saying with the World War Z zombies is you could shoot them and put a few bullets in them and then they'll go down.
But these
guys are like traditional zombies, but they kind of took a bit from The Walking Dead, where if you die, bite or no bite, you come back. Which you saw with the one episode, The Heist, when they were in the air duct. That one dude got lit up.
Yeah.
By the way, Son was in there, survived that. BA all the way. What did I? No.
Go call for her life.
What better yeet?
When she speak English, she be going yeet yeet yeet. Mofo, get off me.
Jacob, what you got there?
Yeah, so pretty much I never watched it. I mean, it does sound interesting when you guys talk about it, but hearing about Barbara, I'm like, okay, man, you remind me of Stranger Things. Come on, man, Barbara, please, please, no, Barbara. I don't want to remind myself of Barbara.
Jacob, wow, bro.
But yeah, I'm free up to look at it, man. So,
I mean, like I've only seen like the last, 3 episodes? Well,
two and a half, because I was halfway through the third to last one.
I've seen the last few, 2.5 episodes, and I gotta say, like, even though I couldn't feel invested to the characters, it did at some point give me anxiety where I'm like, yo, can you not, please?
I'm sitting there watching this and it's like, yo, come on.
Like, there's something that you should do. There's something you shouldn't do during these situations. Please don't do that. So, I don't know. Just from that experience alone, I'm just hoping that I could go back and like watch it from beginning to end, and you see how everything happens, and including Barbara. I'm curious about Barbara. Leah?
To add to what you're saying, the school scene.
I'm sorry, I'm dropping it.
What?
Fuck that school. That's the only one I'm dropping.
Oh,
Jacob, right here. I'm putting my right hand on the Bible. That is the only one I'm doing. But F that school. I will take the scene after that, where that one dude's running from that one zombie the entire episode. Screw that school. I would have lit that place on fire with those kids in there. I don't care what you feel like. The scene where you see them all in the hallway, if I was Spears, ba 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 ba. I'm like, I don't care. That was like 10 of her standing in the hallway.
What?
With guns.
10 of me? What?
Yeah, 10 little Satans standing in the hallway. I would have been like,
ooh, no.
No, I've seen too much. I've seen too many horror movies to know where this goes. I ain't doing that white people SHIT. Boom, 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 boom.
But man,
Boy, they ain't Terminus.
Think of the it's like, but the kids. Nah, honey, they gonna die. Boom.
That school scene frustrated me so much.
I was yelling at the end.
Because things could have easily been avoided if they could have made a better choice.
And didn't do the Scooby-Doo gang thing.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, they split up and looked for clues, guys. I was like, no, you did not just split up. I was like, you guys did not just split up. You two go that way. You two go that way. Oh my God, you did not just do this. That's what I said. Sometimes you get frustrated. And then sometimes you're like, don't go there. It's obviously a trap.
That scene alone made me angry and gave me anxiety.
Sounds like fun.
Cause like, oh man,
It is
so many.
suspense until the end of the episode. And then sometimes they don't even answer it. So you're just going, what happened to that one guy? I gotta see the next episode.
well, Bird Box.
Sure.
Jacob, you're there, Jacob? You there?
And the one kid with the little bell.
Oh,
Ding,
man.
ding, ding, ding.
Get out of here.
I recommend it. I mean, I think it's a good show. And if anybody hasn't watched it, watch it.
Okay, so
Say
I
it
haven't watched it, but I do have a question. What's the name of the girl that doesn't know English?
Son.
Son?
She's
Where does
Korean.
She speak? She's Korean?
Korean.
Cool.
Son is.
Well,
son.
it's like
Son.
Koyu Son, but she just say son, so it's simpler.
Yeah.
In other words, she's Son Goku.
Oh, so
I mean-
anyway.
I mean, she's kind of more like a Chi-Chi to a Goku, but okay.
Alright.
She
Okay.
sounds badass. I want to watch it.
She is. She's
Okay.
pretty cool.
So what you're telling me is you take the moon, you take the sun.
All right. You know what? That's
Let's
it.
move on.
That's it. You get 2 more dad jokes, and if you use them right away, every time you say a dad joke, I'm slapping you.
I'm about
How
to
about
shake
you
this
taste
man.
He gets 2. He gets 2 more. That's it.
Keep count.
You get 3 per episode from now on. You did good that one time, and then you dropped it at the end. We're doing a flashback scene, everybody. And he drops it. All right, next topic.
No,
Anyways,
hold
next
on.
topic.
Hold on. So for
This one
For
over here
Black
pulled a
Summer.
damn taser out.
Zed, how do you want to just rate the first season?
If I rate it as the show itself and not nitpicking the little low budget parts out
Ooh,
that I showed
boy.
you. Yeah, there's this. No, I gotta say this. This is a spoiler that I want you all to look. There's a scene in the last episode where all these people are walking to the stadium. One zombie comes out, they light him up, they put him down. Second one comes out, they light him up. This one girl walks up, shoots him in the head, and you see this beautiful blood splatter, and it looks good, right? If you watch that blood splatter as they walk, that thing is moving. They didn't rotoscope that thing. They did not rotate.
He was levitating. Like,
It was like playing Red Dead without the patch, where you see the blood and the animals like levitating in the air, and it's like.
Boy, you're like
Start
90?
speaking Latin.
The blood flying.
Boy, no, I said I was watching it with Lamp. I was like, "Did you see that?" He's like, "No, we rewound it. We watched it 2 more times. We were dying." And then we rewound it and watched it again to get back into the show and finish it. But I give it a 7.5 or an 8. It's good. It's a good watch. Really was. I only give it that low because the intense like anxiety I got after watching this show. Going, God, stop doing that.
I give it an 8. That's all an 8.
Solid. All right, cool. So, like, how do you think season 2 will come through though? Like,
if there's one.
if there's a season 2, that's true.
Because remember, it's a prequel.
That is true.
To Z Nation. Because it is Black Summer.
Yeah. Right.
I think there might be 1 or 2 more seasons because that would make more sense. Because this is only like a few weeks or a month after Outbreak. It's not like Z Nation where it's like, what, 4 or 5 years after?
Yeah.
And then they have certain rules, like, well, when you read, like, for example, one of the rules of Z Nation is you get 60 years old, they mercy you or something like that. Because they don't want you to die in your sleep and come back.
Yeah.
So, they don't have those rules set yet, so.
That is all right.
I will say that one old man, the guy with the beard I was telling you about, badass all the way.
Yep. All right. So, it's going to be a little brief mention for Game of Thrones season premiere. Like, so apparently the only people who've seen it that's present right now is me and Jacob. But to be truthfully honest, I think it would be much more justice if we had Alexis, Jamal, and Kevin, who've also watched it, because even though, like, I just want to let you know that we did watch the season premiere. That Game of Thrones is out there, and yes, we freaking loved it.
Yep.
But I don't think just me and Jacob alone will be able to, like, justify how great just us returning to, like, Game of Thrones again after that whole year hiatus.
Bruh.
And seeing all this greatness, the dragons, Jon Snow, Daenerys, everybody's coming back together.
The shade.
All the shade. Brand eyeing people from across the room. Arya being adorable. Sansa being a snappy little hoe. I love Tyrion still. Yeah. Jaime coming through. What's her name? Cersei Lannister. Yeah. Over here opening her legs. I'm telling you, man, like, Game of Thrones, like, the first episode was just a joke to me. Just, like, the best, hilarious episode, because, like, everything is coming together. The White Walkers are coming. It was just fun to see everybody, like, trying to, like, you know, get ready for this giant apocalypse and everything. Jacob?
Whoever said it was going to be 2 hours each episode.
Bruh.
Yo, they lied to us.
Bruh.
Son, let me square up. Son,
bruh.
They pissed me off, bro.
I got mad. I'm like, yo, let's go. I see Brad. I see, all right, let's see what happens. Credits. Where my 2 hours?
Hey, you owe me Infinity War. You owe me an Endgame.
You owe me an Endgame.
Did you see that someone dropped this Game of Thrones if it was an anime?
Yes.
And it had the scene with the White Walker when he throws the spear. I was like, yo, you're going to do that? Yeah. The way they drew Jon Snow had me laugh because it was like his derpy face of when he's sad.
Yeah.
I was like, why'd you do that one? Like, the squinty eyes, like,
The small thing I wanted to mention was Jon Snow, he looked like he wanted to give up. Every single time.
My sword.
Bro, he's just tired, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Jon Snow is tired.
Been fighting these things for how many seasons now?
Forever. He's been fighting everything. Bruh. He's been fighting everything, everyone. This man died, came back. He's like, just let me die, my guy. Damn.
He's like Superman when they died on Doomsday. He's like, he came back. We need you. You're our hope.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being your hope. Find someone else.
I don't want to go back.
I ain't going back in that. I want to go back in that crypt.
It's like everything's all good now. You tell me this plot twist.
Oh, bruh. Son from Black Summer and
Son comes in and goes, what did you want to know?
Why?
Wait.
Oh.
Bruh. I'm
Word
sorry.
of the day.
Bruh, I'm sorry, but Game of Thrones is like a giant bruh moment, son. Yeah. Like, Joe.
He's pulling his hair out, if you can see this.
I can't.
He had a beautifully shaved head, and now he's pulling his hair out.
I'm bald now, yo. Call me Caillou.
No, it's Kaiju, remember? Kaiju.
Actually, no, call me Lil Bill.
We can't do that anymore. Can't do that anymore. Nothing with the Crosby over here.
But before we just move on to the next subject, Jacob, well, just at least tell me one of your favorite scenes from Game of Thrones, or at least one or two.
Bruh. Okay, so that kissing moment. between the two relatives and a
Shut up.
and a dragon. The dragon eyeing them down.
What?
He like, hey yo, cuz that's my auntie.
What up, auntie?
Oh,
That text I sent you all last season, when Kevin and I were watching this, we're like, hey, gross.
I understand nothing.
Good, leave it that way.
good.
Leave it that way.
All you need
No,
to know is
no,
incest.
Harold, now just leave it that way.
It's
Trust
just-
me, when you poke the bear too many times, it'll eat you.
But I'm Satan. I want to know everything.
You can
Oh,
find
damn.
out yourself.
You should watch Game of Thrones.
Go to every website. You'll find out.
Go to HBO and watch it.
Yeah, on every site. Hey, Game of Thrones. Oh, hey there, Jon Snow. I don't think this is the Game of Thrones.
What's going on here? What is this?
What if somebody watched it and thought they were up to date by watching them?
That is terrible. I was so sorry for that guy.
Yeah, man. But my favorite part about it was the memes. The memes were fire, bro.
Oh yeah, I
Memes
heard
are
about
fire.
those.
I couldn't stop laughing, man.
Yeah, the memes are on point. That's why I can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah.
I know the memes gonna be on. They gonna kill it. I'm waiting.
That's gonna be my the dessert when I get home from work.
Bruh.
I'll be like, I had a bad day at work. Oh, let me look at these memes.
Oh
My
God.
day's good.
The memes are R420. That's what I'm talking about. And my two favorite parts were that one too, the dragon scene, and the scene where spoiler. Well, it's not spoiler because you guys already know. But when Daenerys and I forgot her other guy.
Oh, what was it, Sam?
No,
Wait.
when they were with Sam.
Yes.
Bro, that part so awkward. They come inside. Oh, so you're the one who healed what's his name, Sir Garen? Something like that. The guy who was turned to stone, if you guys remember.
Yeah,
he
plates.
so he
Looked
got
like
healed.
Titus.
Yeah, he got healed by Sam, and Daenerys, approaches him like, "Oh, so you're the one who healed them. Oh, you have my thing." And Sam is like, "Oh, my pleasure, my queen." He's all happy. He's all nice. You're like, "Yo, Sam." Like, I forgot about what happened last season, so it still caught me off guard. So I was like, "Oh, Sam, you're so nice." And like, "Oh, maybe you could do like she's like, oh, I should do you a favor." And he's like, "Oh, if you could do me a favor, I would like to return home to my place." And she's like, and he tells her her place. I forgot what it was called. It was like,
Tarly's? I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, about that, the king dead."
See what happened
was he stood up and I wanted him to bow the knee, and he was like, "Nah." And I burned him. He's like, oh damn, well, at least my brother can rule and can invite me back home. And she was like, I'm out there.
They gave each other the side eye.
You know that moment where the two people know that the bad thing that happened and nobody else knows, and they look at each other and then they look back and they go, yeah. They play dumb. They're like, so what happened to so and so? Yeah.
They don't even play. They just look at each other like, ah. But like you see, you stood
So
up
what happened
too.
was
We're on moment part 2, bruh.
And I felt so bad for Sam.
Bro,
He was about to, like, he was looking at the murder, the queen. His own queen murdered his father and brother, and he was just looking at her and like, he was like, okay, he was just like holding, like, his acting was on par, bro. It was great.
Give
I
that boy an
felt
Oscar.
bad.
Give that boy an Oscar.
And like, damn. And then he left. He like, "Man, I've been partying." She was like, "Yeah," because she understands. Like, I just killed your dad and your brother. Go ahead and cry it out. And then he leaves, and he's like, he's about to he's trying to like let it out, like let it go and everything. He looks up. He sees Bran. I'm like, bro, can you go somewhere?
No, the new freaking GoFundMe to make him a wheelchair, an accident like a wheelchair ramp to get out of the thing. I'm like, you guys are stupid.
You, bro.
You want to send money to a pastime universe? Go for it. See what happens. You ain't gonna get much. The budget team's probably watching this GoFundMe thing, going, "Are you serious?"
Bro, let me tell you something, man. Seeing Bran do that, bro, I was like in my room trying to rest. Bran right there, straight. That boy everywhere.
to God, wish you guys watched this, man. This part, like this episode with Brad was just so funny because he's just eyeing everyone for for reasons because he sees everything, but at the same time it's like, dude, like mind your business. Like damn.
He's sipping the tea.
He just Oh, Sam, you should tell John about his origins. I swear, bro.
Which was well done, by the way.
Oh, God.
It was well done.
Hopefully, by next podcast, we'll be able to talk more in depth with the others about Game of Thrones. I wish you guys could watch it or should watch it. I'm not going to force it down your throats for obvious reasons, but, like, it's just a really engaging show, if anything. All right. So, now it's for something a bit controversial for us, or for at least me and Jacob. One Punch Man Season 2.
Oh!
And I wanted to watch it.
I think it would be better if you did it.
The not so One Punch.
It's One Punch.
If it's like that, I'd rather keep my good memories of the
It's not that it's...
Wait, well, if we could put it this way, it's the discounted One Punch Man.
It's...
So Gino is One Punch Man?
No.
Remember, swing first. Uppercut you, Gino. Come here, boy.
So, One Punch Man Season 2. Did you saw it? No?
No. I saw the trailer and I was just like, nah.
Alright, so... One Punch Man... Yeah.
Not so. The discount One Punch. Uno. The Uno Punch Man.
One Punch Man Season 2.
Uno Punch Man. Discount, remember.
One Punch Man Season 2. It's... Oh, man. Well, let's just start off with Harold.
Yeah.
One Punch Man Season 2, Episode 1. How you feel about it?
It's basically a for-shot remake of the chapter, basically. You pretty are hitting all the points. Then once you see Jenna come out, I'm like, oh. What happened to that budget? We were waiting, 2 years now?
Y'all gambled it away?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you see the next thing that's finding him and just like, the fuck? Did the budget go to him?
Oh, man.
What happened?
You see One Punch Man standing outside on the window from Madhouse, and they're working on that new project with the rain in the background. Just looking in, just like with the sad puppy dog face. He sees Madhouse. They're having a fun time with their new projects, laughing, sipping tea, all that other stuff.
And then you hear all around me.
No, it's like, don't you forget about me.
And they forgot about me. Shit.
Oh.
The only way they won't forget about him is you hear him coming back to Madhouse, and then you just see the knock at the doors. That wasn't that one movie with the guy with the jukebox outside with John Cusack.
Yeah, that's Jacob.
That says it right there. Next bit.
What I can say is Season 1 was a full course meal with animation.
Was it though?
Yes.
Okay.
Season 2?
Season 1.
Oh, I thought you meant episode 1. That's my bad.
Oh, well,
That's my bad.
I said Season 1, yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Season 2, on the other hand, it was like, bro, I have a knife. I got a spoon.
No, you don't even got that. It's just like a little McDonald's burger patty.
No. That's too elegant for this season.
What?
What?
No, listen.
Gas station burgers.
No.
Gas station burgers.
Crumbs left by rats. That's how it looks like to me, bro.
Are you for real?
Bruh.
Son.
You didn't see episode 2 yet.
I saw it.
Y'all did?
Yes.
No.
See, I want to watch this now just to see how bad it
Me
is.
too.
I do not want to ruin my memory.
Okay, you don't have to watch it. Me and Lamp will. Get out. We'll watch it right now.
I will not watch this. I refuse.
Look, we just said you don't have to watch it.
Man, let me tell you something, bro.
Can we not say you did?
Oh, man. Season 2. Season 2, episode...
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, Season 2, episode 2. Just one thing I'm going to add.
Oh, boy.
You know how fight scenes are supposed to have, like, power behind their punches?
Yeah.
Or, it just feels like you feel the impact.
Yeah. Oh my! Are you serious?
Son, there was only one good animated fight scene. It was just 1 second. I guess 2 seconds
Where you
worth
feel the power.
where you could feel something went in. Bruh, rest of the episode, flop. Flop.
No power.
No, it's like you're ripping.
Who is the company who did this?
JT stuff.
JCC, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Blacklist.
I understand that they got a lot on their plate this year because they got movies, they got TV shows that they've been packing just to make ends meet with their studio deadlines or whatever to keep it afloat. But man, when you take a look at season 1, like clips of it, you can see how much power, how much color. It like everything pops up in the screen. You see Saitama, you like, bruh, I feel the power in you, boy. I feel the intensity. I know you're One Punch. I know you're One Punch.
You don't have to tell me.
But season 2, it just feels just drab. It just feels like it's like the color is muted. It just feels like it's
Really?
downscale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It doesn't feel like it's pop.
It doesn't feel vibrant.
It doesn't feel vibrant. The colors don't pop in your face. It just feels like they just added like
Just a two-tone.
like a overlay of drab color just to make it seem like it's a darker show. Like you're trying to be DC or something. but honestly speaking, man, like yeah. But honestly speaking, episode 1 was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was good for season 2. But then when it kept piling on to episode 2, that's where it kind of felt like, dang, they're saving money for the good parts. Episode 2 had some good parts in terms of assets on certain characters.
Assets.
Yeah. But other than that, the action just wasn't hitting it for me, man. It's like you see something happen and you're like, oh snap, what's the aftermath of that? What? This happened so fast? What?
Hey, what? I gotta see this guy arm get ripped off? What?
Right? Nah, man.
Huh.
You're gonna have to see for yourself, man. You're gonna see.
Oh, man.
So this is one of those situations where you just go, the manga's better.
Yeah, by a long shot.
Because it's like everybody, it's like, go see season 1, be happy, then go to the manga.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds about right, because the way I felt with One Punch Man season 2, episode 1, it was just like the writing. They didn't like slack on the writing. It still felt like One Punch Man.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess, like everything was One Punch Man except for what made One Punch Man, which was the energy. Like all the energy felt different. It didn't feel lost, but it just felt different.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Madhouse did their animations for One Punch Man, everything felt like you know, like rushing out, like popping, like, you know, swirling through the screen and everything like flying. All the punches were like powerful. All the enemies and their exaggeration and how they like fight is like insane. I mean, with season 2, we know we just started. We got a new animation studio. We have to give them at least a chance to see like what they could do with One Punch Man. But so far, they haven't really wowed me. It felt One Punch Man is in its own genre of being One Punch Man, like an pure action anime series. And the way it felt like, it feels like an anime. It felt like a basic anime, like, I don't know, what? Give me a basic action anime. Like a
Sword Art Online?
Yeah, it felt like
Hell
a
no.
No.
Get that trash out of here.
No.
It felt like Shield Hero. It felt like
Better. Way better. Get that
it felt like
Fairy Tail.
Nah, no.
Whoa. That was something to boundaries.
Bleach.
Yeah, it felt
the
like
fight
Bleach.
scenes in Bleach.
It's like
when the swords clashed in that, you felt that counter.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's just like it felt like an anime.
Yeah.
Like I know One Punch Man is an anime, but One Punch Man is like its own genre of anime, of like that super bizarre, like Mob Psycho, One Punch Man. They're like together, even though, you know, like, yeah, it's the same creator and all that stuff, same animation studio, but like they're there for that reason. That's their style.
Yeah.
So when One Punch Man changes like animation studio, it just turns to a regular anime. Yeah. So like you watch it just to watch it, and then when the good parts come in, that's when the budget will come in.
Yeah. But
like it won't be like as sporadic, as crazy as the whole show in general. It'll just be that one part that you like sit there and wait for, like One Piece. When you watch the anime, it's like, oh, I'm just watching it just to see the good fight scene comes through. And when the fight scene comes, you're like, oh, that animation was great, but we don't really talk about like the rest of the episode.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like pretty basic. That's how I feel about One Punch Man season 2, episode 1. It just felt really basic. It doesn't really feel like One Punch Man.
And going back to what you said about season 1, when Madhouse, went in, it was because the director, he had his contacts from like freelancing animators from different studios. They went in and they made One Punch Man and One Punch Man. You could sense the love and energy there.
Exactly.
Here is like you had the same director, but it just feels like most of the people that he had connects with, they didn't really feel like they had the time to help him out this time around. And it just feels like the energy is lacking here.
Yeah.
And man, it's like I'm still gonna watch it, of course.
Yeah, definitely. We've been waiting for this.
Exactly. I just want to see what kind of direction they're gonna head with this. I know they're gonna try to keep this manga thing like the anime side by side with the manga, but it just kind of frustrates me to see just how subpar this anime is going to be treated, because One Punch Man is fire, man, and it deserves the adaptation it needs. And man, JC Staff, man, they've been here for a while, but man, they got to do better. They're not well known for action scenes, so
I bet.
So yeah,
probably like romance and stuff, right?
Yes, exactly. And,
oh damn! What?
And slice of life and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's pretty. Damn.
So sad, disappointing.
So, Merzabel, I know you've seen season 1 of One Punch Man.
Of course.
And based on how we feel about season 2, episode 1 and 2,
well,
how would you feel?
I'm not very encouraged to go watch it, but I really have been looking forward to it, and now this just sucks. It just sucks.
I mean, you should still at least give it a chance. We have to see at least what direction it's going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only like the first 2.
I'm gonna wait till you guys finish it and you let me know.
All right. Just look forward to a
Play
PowerPoint. Look forward to a PowerPoint slideshows.
Oh, hell no. That's what I don't want to see.
Animation.
I don't want to see no PowerPoint slideshow anime. I want to see One Punch Man.
And one thing left to add is, how do you guys feel about the theme song?
I was not feeling it.
You wasn't feeling it?
I mean,
not even the damn song. Not even the damn song.
Not even the damn. The step that's supposed to hype us up is not even complete.
Lord.
It is One Punch Man season 2, man.
It's just not there. It's not like the first season's main opening. It's like get you going. It's like, yeah, let's fucking do this shit.
Yeah.
Like, you see this one, just like
yeah, One Punch is back. Remember us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What is this Pokemon shit?
Damn, Pokemon.
Thanks.
What?
Hey, some openings of Pokemon are just. I'm sorry, man.
I get no, it's true. It'd be true that sometimes I get you, but yeah, One Punch Man season 2, episode 1 and 2. Zed, Clea, you guys anything to add? One Punch Man, no? You don't want to watch it?
From what you were saying?
It's not worth it.
Look at how they massacred my boy.
They massacred our boy for real. I mean, like, all we could hope for is that they get better. They like hear our feedback. They hear that we want to see One Punch Man, excel, and please like put in a little bit more energy and effort to like making this show as amazing as it was before. Hopefully they get it and like, oh, okay, maybe we should like amp it up, y'all, or just sit back and say, nah, we'll go with High School DxD Part 3, One Punch Man edition. It's like,
No.
Damn. We'll see Gina with boobs next. All right, that was our topics, and now we're on for the quick fire, starting with the dumpster fire.
What?
They did my boy Zazu wrong.
The Lion King trailer, live action, Disney.
Oh, the crickets.
Woo. Y'all watch Animal Planet? Remember the textbook you have from the National Geographic? It takes because the animals.
We get to the credits. Producer, National Geographic.
Yeah. I swear, man. The trailer. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still gonna watch this movie, no doubt.
I don't know, same.
But oh my god, like there is a clear reason why the animated version of Lion King will
be golden.
Because not only is it a cartoon and it's animated, like the expressions is there. You could see that the colors are vibrant. It makes the world alive. With the live action, it feels like straight mud, like realistic mud. You can't make a sad story about real life lions because they die every day. I'm just looking at the National Geographics. That's it. Discovery Channel. That's all I'm seeing. That's all I can see. Timon and Pumbaa. Like they all the characters look great, but like.
And what happened to Animal Planet? It's not even animals anymore.
Claire, you seem mad.
Well, first off,
her face is red.
Right?
The CG, I think it's amazing. Like, it does look like, I mean, I can reach out and touch it. Like, I think the textures are amazing. And that part...
Don't jump in the pin.
I think that part's pretty great. But for me, it fell flat. It didn't have, like, the charisma. Didn't have, like, the flair that the original animation had. At least that's what it felt to me.
Yeah, it doesn't really compare to, like, the animation of the original.
Yeah.
Zed.
I'm just waiting for Donald Glover to go, yeah, I can't wait to be king. And then you get Seth Rogen. Hakuna Matata. What a wonder. And then the guy who's playing Timon, I'm like, oh my god. At the end of there, they're going to Weemba Whip. I'm like, okay, no. It just doesn't feel the same.
No.
It just hurts.
You know what it felt like when they were singing? It felt like that one bit, the Lion King 1/2.
Oh.
Is this the little boy I carry? That bit, that's the part that was like, when I see them doing that, I'm like, man, it's like that all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like that.
It's either that slug I ate or I'm having an epiphany.
Jacob?
Man, you know how I feel. I'm an animation dude. 2D animation dude, actually. When I saw the trailer, I was like, man, they're making another Blue Planet 3.
Oh, you didn't just sucker punch. You curb stomped. You said the scene from American History X. Open your mouth.
Rub salt.
I know, right?
Salt.
Tenderize it.
He didn't rub salt. He freaking threw salt as a block. Like he threw a salt lick at the dude. It's like, how'd you get a cat concussion? I think salt hit me.
What are you salted?
I got assaulted. That was terrible.
Alright, okay, you don't get to do dad jokes.
I know, I'm sorry.
That's one taken from him now.
What?
You only get one more.
Dang it, bro.
You can thank him for that.
I have loads of material, bro. Alright.
I know you do. Save it for the last one.
Okay, so, yeah. I will admit the scenery looks amazing, beautiful. I mean, it's giving a lot of life into the scenes. But, like, it's like, you know, like, they're trying to do their best to compare it to the 2D animation. Like the 2D animation movie. It just feels like they're trying way too hard to match with it.
You think or you know?
I know. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's like, man, it's like, dang it, man. I'm sorry. Okay, let me get my thoughts together.
It's okay. Catch your breath. We got you. No, look, dude, I understand. The first Lion King will always be held in my heart, even though, you know, I'm mad at that mouse right now. I'm coming for you.
Oh, you're mad at me? But when you look at the trailer itself, you see the comparisons of, you know, Simba, Timon, and Pumbaa. They're walking along with each other. They're like under the moonlight or whatever. I think they're singing Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
They don't really showcase it, but you know for a fact because you watch it. It doesn't feel like there's personality when they're just walking. Mm-hmm. Like the live action, it just feels like they're just walking along a trail, and that's it. You won't feel the energy the first one has, like the Lion King 2D animation movie has.
Right.
It just doesn't compare because that has personality. those characters can move and feel like they're human, but they're still animals. Live action, it just feels like they're trying too hard to make it realistic. And the expressions on the characters for Simba, I know we're gonna cry when we see him, you know, brush up against his father.
Get up.
Mufasa,
Which, you know, thank you, James Earl Jones, for coming
Man.
back to play Mufasa.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna feel like a kid again.
Right?
I'm gonna be like, I'm 2 years old again. What the fuck? Everything the light touches
Is our kingdom.
What about that dark spot over there? We don't go there, mofo. We don't go there.
Get shot.
No, that's where your Uncle Terry lives. You don't go there. What does Uncle Terry do? I want to be like Uncle Terry. No, you don't.
No,
So
you don't.
trust me, you don't.
All right, but
Yeah, what I felt like, to continue on, what I felt about Scar though, he didn't seem intimidating to me at all.
No, he did
No.
not.
He felt like he was malnourished.
Yeah.
like the thing is, it felt like he escaped from a zoo and made it.
What the hell was that? You pterodactyl screech? Hold up. I'm asking this man a serious question. What the heck was that? Was that your pterodactyl mating call? Am I gonna see a pterodactyl come flying in and come
Yes.
sit next to you?
He's like, hey, baby.
It's like, okay, so it looks like he escaped from a zoo. He gathered up all his cage lion friends. Like,
The hyenas.
yeah, hyenas. But
Is it Whoopi Goldberg playing one of them?
No. I have a point when I make this.
Oh, God.
He's bringing in all his captive, caged lion people, lion brethren, right? They're going to the Sahara, the elephant graveyard or whatever, and they're starting their own planet of the lions.
So what you say is
Lion,
Alex the
don't
Lion
kill
coming.
Lion.
Lion don't
So what you say is Alex the Lion coming. Like, let my people go.
Not
Sit down.
Madagascar, my guy.
It's like, we need a Caesar in there.
Your Caesar, Simba.
All right. Gotta get back on track. All right, so Jacob, want to finish your thoughts?
Oh, he's done. Next.
No.
He's done. Be done by now.
I mean, yeah, well, you could say I'm done. Yeah.
What
I had a few more, but
Zed?
I gotta get this laugh out of me first. No, he right. Cause the thing with Scar is, you know, he was, you know, that dark brown color with the black mane.
Hmm.
He kind of felt like an outcast, even though, you know, Mufasa just looked like your average lion with a red mane.
Yeah.
And this guy just looks like a regular lion. Like he was working at, you know, like the ghetto Ringling Brothers, and he got free because he ate the tamer. The tamer couldn't reach for the Glock in time, and he ate him. And he's like, "Hey, it's the first meal I have a day." He kind of like, "Hey, man, can you spare some change? I'm out here in the elephant graveyard, man. I ain't got nothing to eat. Can you help me out?"
And they eat it afterwards, too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Simba looked good.
Yeah.
Nala looked good.
Hmm.
You know, even though I still think it's going to be stupid when they sing this thing, I think Timon and Pumbaa looked good. But Rafiki, I was like, damn, Rafiki, you got some pores in there? What's going on?
Right.
I was like, give him the hair. Go a little boundaries and give him the stick. If you don't have that staff,
She's not my
I'm
Rafiki.
walking out.
Yeah,
I'll be like, I'm gonna
She's
stand
my
up.
Rafiki.
I'm gonna stand up. First thing I'm gonna do is hashtag kill the rat, and then I'm gonna be like hashtag not my Rafiki.
He's not my uncle. He's not my monkey's uncle.
He's not.
He's not.
Harold, how you
So to add on to that, after seeing Zazu there, I don't even know what that is. That white bird thing you call Zazu. What the fuck is that?
It's a bird.
No, that's not a bird. That's their leftover chicken from Popeye's chicken. It was like, I'm free! I'm free, motherfucker!
The one that escaped. Oh my god. Oh man, anything else?
Everyone else looked good, I guess. Scar is just, I don't know what Scar is. Like, you gotta do me the one villain that I love besides Cloud Fro, one of the best ones ever, 10 out of 10. But freaking Scar, I don't know what to call him. I don't know what he is.
Damn.
Call him a thing.
No, he's not even a thing. He's just a concept that was left behind on the drawing board.
Oh my
Hey,
lord.
here's a liar for you. What the fuck
Oh
is this?
my lord. That boy punched her
The
up.
shade.
Merzable?
Well, I mean, you guys said a lot. Pretty much said everything I was thinking about. So let's go with the first thing. First of all, no color, no color scheme. It feels dead. It feels everything looks. It gets lost in the background, basically. Like
it sort of does blend in.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was looking at the trailer and I just couldn't couldn't really see what was going on because it felt all like very muddy and it felt grayish. And I had to look at it over and over again to like understand the story. And then I saw Scar. I'm like, that's Scar? Why? So like,
why?
Why? It doesn't look. He just doesn't look like the villain I knew. And I don't know. I didn't like it. I love the realism, the CGI. Everything looks very well done. But they just need to bring out. They needed more life, more character. It's missing something. It's missing, I guess, life. It has no soul. I guess I took the soul of that movie by mistake. Sorry. Sorry.
I know who to blame, y'all.
I took the soul of the movie.
What worries me even now, though, when it came to the speaking dialogue, it was only Timon and Pumbaa who spoke, compared to everyone else that stayed silent the whole time. So I'm just like, how is the acting on this is gonna go?
Yeah,
is it gonna go shit or is it gonna go shit?
I mean, you gotta give the benefit of the doubt, my guy. We got some star actors on there, so they should be able to like do their role right.
I'm trying, my man, but like, it's killing me.
Yeah, I trust me, I understand.
This is the movie when it's back when I was 6 years old. I would reverse that shit every time it finished.
Bruh, same here. I guess all I got to say for the movie itself is that for this movie, like, I guess the main problem is because it's the Lion King, our expectation is to be as close to the original one as possible. But as we've seen in the past, Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, what were the other ones? Tarzan. Like
like the two Tarzan movies they made.
Yeah, like all of them, they were like close to the original, but like how do I put this? It's like it's live action, so they try to keep the realism of it, but at the same time they try to make it like a cartoon. So like they have that little singing here and there. It's like it doesn't feel right because it's not a cartoon. It's not what it's meant for. I think The Lion King and all those other live action movies would have been way better if they were their own story. Like if they weren't like a visit back to like Pride Rock and all that stuff, but like just Lion King, not a different story, but like a different way of telling it, and not page per page how we have it now. Just like with Aladdin, it's like it's almost page to page of like how the original cartoon was. If they just made Aladdin and just made it Aladdin, I think it would have been fine. Because like if you guys seen Mowgli, and you want to watch Mowgli on Netflix?
No, I haven't seen it.
That wasn't a Disney production though.
It wasn't exactly, but like that was a better Jungle Book than the Jungle Book Disney made because for one there was no singing. Two, it took a serious tone, so like it sort of like
just like Christian Bale, didn't you?
It sort of like steered itself away from like the original one. And third, it was just like it just felt right. It just felt like a better version of like the one that Disney made. But yeah, Lion King trailer, man, it just is. It's just there. Watch it if you want to. No guarantee you'll be happy about it. Next is Chucky.
You mean the Terminator?
With this one, we'll start with
the Terminator.
Satan.
So, how you feel about this Chucky?
Okay, so
be honest.
It doesn't feel like Chucky. First of all, doesn't feel like a Child's Play movie. Feels like a lot of things. It feels like a zombie apocalyptic movie. It feels like AI apocalyptic movie. I don't know, like doesn't feel like it's a toy that walks around that has a soul inside. No, it's more like an AI inside the house controlling everything.
It's like a robot.
Like a robot.
Invasion.
Yeah, it's weird. Terminator. As Harold says.
Wait, wasn't there a Disney movie where the house had an AI?
Smart
House?
House?
Yeah. It feels like that.
You will never leave this home.
That's what I thought when I
I
saw
will
it.
always be your mother.
Yeah.
You ain't my mama. My mama dead.
What you mean, boy?
It was pretty bad.
Go
I
back
didn't
to being
like
Leah
it.
on.
But I do have to say, I did like the voice acting of Chucky. Like the little piece that we had, the little preview that we had of voice acting. I really liked it, and the laugh, and it was pretty creepy. I liked it.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill did a good job.
Best known for the Joker.
Hero.
So it feels like the Terminator and the guy from Saw had a baby and it became Chucky.
Ah. Sounds
Yeah,
interesting.
it doesn't.
You have no idea what those movies are.
No, I do. It just sounds like a fan fiction.
It's a terrible fanfiction, mind you.
I believe that.
You know which
Like-
teacher of ours be reading that.
Oh, man.
No, can we not?
Oh, it's quick. Can we not? I'm sorry, continue.
Like, it doesn't feel like the Chucky movie. It literally feels like they pretty much got the first half of Saw and then a little bit half of from Judgment Day, just sewed it together.
All right, but like, how does like they're seeing that? How does it visually looks to you?
Yeah, it feels like I'm watching a Saw movie.
Damn, bro.
That's what it is.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because there's a couple Saw movies I like, so...
Right, no, it's a good thing as in how the kills are being made. There's some creative ones I could say, oh, okay, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like it's going to be a little bit cliche. It's like, oh, you know it's going to happen. Oh, he's going to die from this. She's going to die from that.
Oh, is that what
It's
you're
a-
afraid of?
Yeah,
You don't
it's
wanna
going to be a little
see
too predictable. And then with Mark Hamill being on the wheels on this for this one, I like it. It sounds just like Brad Dourif, if anything, maybe a little bit better. But this is something I'll have to go see and find out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sit down in theaters. What's up?
What's up with those kids like teaming up to like get this Chucky? Like, what is that?
Ooh, that's the problem that I got. I'll get to that.
Monster Man.
I'll get to
No.
that.
That makes no sense to me.
That's a good one. Zed, how you feel about this Child's Play?
Crickets.
And there's my 5 seconds. You can choose your own way to make what you want out of it.
So it was whack.
Yeah.
No.
No, you ain't
Just
feeling
no. The only good thing that I see in this is Mark Hamill. And he's only voice acting.
Damn.
Seriously. I know he's going to do the role justice.
Mhm.
But that scene where you see him walking, dragging the knife, I was dying laughing. I was like, are you serious? It looks like they got a puppet and they dropped him to make him look like he's walking.
Yeah.
And they extended his arm. I'm like, oh my god, no. I'm like, are you trying to do it like cheesy 80s horror Chucky? Or, I still want to see that scene where he's like, talk to me or I'm going to throw you in the fire. They don't have that scene. I'll be like, alright.
I'm done with this movie. Get me out of here.
I know Mark Hamill's going to do the movie justice, but the one part that annoyed me was when all the kids got together in the trailer and they're like, yeah, we got to destroy them. I'm like,
huh?
I'm like, what the f is this? I'm like, this ain't, no, if it's a horror movie, it's a horror movie. This ain't no PG movie with the kids rise up and they fight them. This ain't Gremlins. Calm down.
Monster Squad.
Hey, Monster Squad was better than Gremlins. I'll fight you on that one.
No, they're ripping off Monster Squad.
It's like a debate.
Yeah.
A debate.
Yeah.
Alright, keep continuing.
It just made you feel like it was another Child's Play.
Clear?
No, it feels like the last Chucky movie that came out.
Jacob.
That bad, yeah.
What, the Cult of Chucky?
Oh my god, don't even
That
start.
was disgusting.
Clea, continue,
Clea.
please, before I break something over Harold's head.
Well, I agree with everybody. When I was watching like the trailer, I'm like, yo, am I watching Saw or something? Like, what is this? I don't know. Again, I like the original. I like the supernatural aspect of it, but at the same time, I'm kind of curious to see how the AI kind of works too. Because think about it, that movie was kind of made for like modern day.
Yeah.
So I
I
feel
get it.
yeah, so it kind of matches like our world a little bit now, how everything has robotic basically, and who knows? One day we'll probably have like dolls that do that. God forbid. But I don't know. I'm not too crazy about it. I do love Mark Hamill. I think he's gonna do the role justice. I like the voice in the end. He did sound like Brad Dourif, so I'm like, Did you sneak in Brad Dourif to do that part? One thing that bothered me though, I don't like Chucky's design.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looked so weird.
Yeah.
I guess because, like, well, you said yourself, it's supposed to, like, represent, like, modern. So he looks more, robotically plastic. If that's a word.
Eh.
Like, he's like an android. He's like a Five Nights at Freddy.
He looks like a
character.
puppet,
Yeah. I don't like
not a
it.
toy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want to put it. Yeah,
He
that's
looks like
correct,
a puppet from the scene I was telling you about with the strings.
He kind of looks.
Oh my
I'm a
god.
real boy.
I swear, if he sings, he ain't got no strings on me. Any part of the movie, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna yell, done, and I'm walking out.
Jacob, you wanted to add something?
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that it just felt like. Oh man, I kind of forgot it. Oh man. Hold on, it will come to me.
Ain't got no strings on me.
Oh yeah, it kind of felt like his design was Tumblr friendly.
Oh. That doesn't count as a dad joke. That one doesn't. That one's actually better than a dad joke. That was good.
That's just Shade, Mike.
No. That's the friend of Shade, who's darker than Shade, who Shade went up, fist bump, clapped, had a nice meal at that buddy's place, and he said, "Hey, I got a gig for you to do." That's who that is.
Because when you look at the design of Chucky, it doesn't look scary. It just looks like he's out there.
He looks like a puppet. I
Yeah.
kid you not.
Yeah, he looks like
His face is not. It doesn't. The thing about Chucky, which made him scary, why he looked like a doll, he had the rubber face, like the '80s toys. Like, hi, I'm Chucky. That's what made him scary. When you see this, it's like you want to knock on his head and be like, "Are you made of wood? You don't look like plastic. You look like if I drop you on the ground, your nose is gonna break, and I'm gonna have to go take you to a puppet guy to fix your face."
I don't like it at all.
Yeah, this feels out of place.
Continue.
Oh, continue?
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Oh,
it.
oh, okay.
I'm not interested in watching this movie at all.
Puppet Master 29.
Well, I mean, like, I've seen the original Chucky, and I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what threw me off is what Marisabel said about, like, having it looking like a apocalyptic sort of, like, you know how, like, near the end of the movie when the climax is, like, at its peak, like, you know, that's when things about to, like, go down. But, like, it looks like it went down way too hard, because, like, it's just one doll, and, like, you know, in the original, it's just like, oh, Chucky's just messing around with just one family, and his chaos just sort of spreads just from that one family. Here is like, he's like knocking the door to door, like, hey, can I fuck your life up? It's like, what the hell? I don't know. It just feels too. It felt too grand. Like it's like an army of Chucky's about to like come out the store, march. They're like, oh, let's kill these Chuckies, man. Like, and then Van Diesel come in his fans like family. And
Oh my god.
I don't know. It just feels too big for a Child's Play movie. Is that
Last tidbit from me, and this one kind of irked me. You notice how they said Buddy on his overalls, and they on the little remote control said Buddy. I'm like, Chucky's a good guy doll. What is this Buddy thing you're talking about?
they're gonna change something?
I'm like, nah, you can't. I'm like, you can't do that.
They're gonna change something.
Because that was the whole thing of, hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? I'm a good guy. You wanna be one like me?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna say? I'm gonna be your buddy? Come here, let me stab you?
Jacob.
The one guy from Futurama?
And like one last thing I'm gonna add is just with the central idea based on this being a kid's toy, calling back to Chucky back then, and all the kids, you know, just ganging up on him, like he's the common enemy, which he is. It just feels like they're trying too hard to be a It movie. I don't know if I could. Compare it to.
I get
know what you
get
mean.
Yeah.
I think I see what you mean. Maybe not. I don't feel that, but I get what you mean though.
Yeah.
It does feel like the whole,
Maybe
you know.
like an innovation.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for the same people who made it, so it could be.
So it might be leaking.
Yeah.
It might be leaking to that project. Like, oh, the It project movie is leaking to the
see,
Chucky one.
The thing that happened with the kids grouping up in It, that actually happened.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen in Chucky.
Well, To each their own, I guess. So
say that to Andy, who's traumatized. He's now 34.
So next on the Quickfire, giving this one to Zed, is HellBoy review because he's on the movie. No one else did.
I brought the pop too.
Yeah, it looks nice. So give us your synopsis, how you feel about the movie, what you rate it, and then we'll move on.
Well, HellBoy, it's a reboot because they thought they wouldn't do justice without Guillermo del Toro if they did the third one. So they just said, all right, let's just redo it. So this one is about the Blood Queen coming back, effing shit up, and making the world like this, basically bring the end of days kind of situation, which is usual day for HellBoy, just trying to stop it. So I liked it. I know all these reviews are given like bad, like, oh, it was terrible, it was a flop, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's just going to hurt the movie for what it could actually be. I went in, I still will always hold the Guillermo del Toro, HellBoy 1 and HellBoy Golden Army in my heart. But I gave this one a chance, and I went in and I watched it and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. So these like 5 and below ratings, I'm kind of like sitting there going, really? It's better than that. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I'm not going to give it a 10, but I'd give it like a 7, 7.5, something like that. I mean, like, it's worth it. It's good. I liked how the guy who played him, David Harbour, also he's the sheriff in Stranger Things. He did a good job as HellBoy. I don't care what these people say. He did a good job. I felt like I was in the pages of the comic. It's like, wasn't there 3 of them? Gets slapped by the hand of this one dude, goes flying. Oh, shit! And then they finally put my favorite scene in the comics. They finally put him in Mexico. That was the one part that I thought was annoying with the first 2 HellBoys. I was like, I want to see him go to Tijuana and get drunk. Finally put it there. So I was happy for that. I kind of liked his dad, he was in American Gods. Yeah, Ian McShane. He did a good job as his dad. A lot of people had a little problem with that. They're like, oh, well, he doesn't look too old, blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's not the point. Did he do a good job? Yes or no? And I got to give it to the guy who did Ben. The guy, he had the scars on his face. He also plays Johnny Gat in Saints Row, for all you Saints Row fans out there.
Ooh.
He did a good job playing the Ben character. They're transforming into the Jaguar, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I felt like his I can't even say, chemistry with him and HellBoy, not romantic, but like the way they worked with each other. It was really funny. I was like, what are we going to do? He's like, stop being a sourpuss. Let's go fight these guys. Are you serious? Yes, let's go do it. And then my favorite scene was they're running to the Blood Queen, mild spoiler. And these like undead come up. They're kind of like zombies. And he's like shooting them. And they're all like, what do we do? Just keep shooting them. He's like, won't anything in this damn country stay buried? But I thought the coolest thing about it was he's like the great grandson of King Arthur, so there's like scenes of Excalibur and stuff. And they brought some old friends of his into it. And I wish Kevin was here because he knows a little bit more about HellBoy than I do. But watch it to the end because they do hint at another character, kind of a fan favorites, to come into the next one if there's a next one. But I did like it. I thought it was good.
That's good.
There were a few parts I was like, okay. Because there was a part in the movie where you see him getting up on his fist, and you could tell it was rubber. But other than that, they did a good job. They kept it whole. They like did the CG to open it and close it. They relied a lot on the CG, and I think that's what the fans were talking about, because in the Del Toro ones, it was a lot of makeup and puppets and stuff like that, and that's why people love his work. But I was like, okay, you guys remember, this is not him. This is another person's art style. They're not going to do that because they know if they do it his style, it's going to be a flop. It's going to look like trash. And so he went with his style, this guy that he knows what he's doing, something he's familiar with. So it came out looking good. Not, amazing, but it came out looking good. I feel like if they had a better budget, this thing could have looked a lot cleaner and better.
Hmm.
But, you know, the fight scenes were good. I was laughing harder than I probably should have been. I was probably the only one in the theater laughing harder than I should have been at certain parts. But, no, I liked it overall. I liked HellBoy kind of being like an uncle with this one character, and then, you know, helping others when they need to, and then, you know, they do a little reference to his revolver, and I thought that was pretty funny. And for all you who like John Wick or Ant-Man and the Wasp, Baba Yaga made an appearance in this movie, and boy was she creepy looking. I was like, shoot her in the face now. Get that nasty face away from me. Crawling on your back, spider legs coming after HellBoy, pulling sickles out. Get away from me. But yeah, I give it a 7. It's worth a watch. You don't like it after that? Okay, who cares?
Yeah.
Right. Nice review. Thank you, Miles. So for everyone else, from what Miles said, you guys want to give that movie a shot despite how the critics want to bash on it?
Forget the critics. Yeah, let's just watch it just to watch it and see how we could gauge from it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I love HellBoy, so I grew up with the original one, and you know what? I do like the actor because I heard he was really good, so why not? So just.
I'll still give it a watch. There's some more interesting creatures now they're finally putting up a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, that big creature was like really awesome. Same.
I'm gonna watch it just for the creepy girl.
But like, I got
Everyone and their priorities, I swear.
Of course, priorities.
Just go for Tijuana.
So there you have it. HellBoy review. Fuck the critics. Next on the Quickfire, Days Gone, another Zed segment.
And back to you, sir.
All right. So I've been talking about this game. It comes out next Friday, the 26th. Also the same day for Endgame.
Some again scrapped.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
So if I'm lucky, they'll release it the day before I can download it, and after Endgame, I'll be like, "Oof, bring me that controller." I gotta get them tears wiped away from my face so I watch something else, and then put more tears in my face.
After playing the game. Yeah.
Okay, so Days Gone is the story. You follow this character, Deacon St. John, also known as the guy who played Star-Lord in the Star Wars Force Unleashed series, which you were supposed to get a third one. Why, George Lucas? Why did you sell out before you finished? Hashtag kill the rat. So he plays Deacon St. John, ex-biker, turned into bounty hunter, and, you know, kind of like, I guess you would say, hunter-gatherer kind of character. You are in this world, and the reason they call it Days Gone is because they got a little counter for how many days have gone by. Plus, you kind of like, his character is more developed on how many days he's lived past the day he lost his wife. So that's kind of like what they said was, from what I've read online, what the Days Gone was meant for. Because this whole thing of these I don't know how to really describe these guys other than zombies. They call them freakers. You can shoot them and they'll go down, but if you want to do it quick, you pop them in the head and they'll go down. And there's so many varieties of them that they haven't even explained them much. The only few I know of is there's your basic ones that look like your regular zombies, which can get into a horde, which will screw you up no matter what you do. You got these juvenile ones, which are these little kids, which will leave you alone unless you come into their territory or if you're injured. And then you've got the ones which I know I'm gonna hate. I'm gonna throw Molotovs at this bitch because she's gonna annoy me so much. Is the screamer, which is kind of like, I guess you would say, kind of like the boomer from Left 4 Dead when he threw up on you, but instead of that, she screams, and anybody in the vicinity is gonna come running in there,
like a siren.
Yeah.
Like, yo, get this fool.
Yo, get this mofo over here. He's sitting over right there trying to siphon gas. I'm minding my own business. What do you want? So there's two major things that you need to watch out for. Obviously yourself, your health, weapons, ammos. And the number one thing, and they said that the good thing, and I hope it's not a burden, is your motorcycle. You got to take care of it and you got to fuel it. But the thing I think what they're going to do is if you guys remember Mad Max when it came out, remember you had to take care of it. You had your little jockey dude come out and he'd repair it, and then you'd fill it with gas. I feel like it's going to be like that. Or it wasn't really that much of a burden. Remember, you could go to those little outposts and fill it with gas, and then you're good. I think gas is going to be plentiful. I think you're going to have to scavenge for little parts to fix your bike if you have problems. Or if you go to other camps, they're going to help you as well. So, I think it's cool.
Hey, you can't forget about the freeze come out at night.
Oh, yeah. No, I was getting there. I was going to get to the weapon system. I thought it was cool because I was reading more about that. You start with a trashy little 9mm, and then you get a crossbow, which just says good. So the weapons actually have a level system to like good, perfect, good, and then trash. So I thought that was cool. You can get a better one, you can upgrade for a better one, or you can fix it to make it better, or you can get like a little Tennessee suppressor with aerosol can attached to the one end. But they said there's going to be more guns than you actually would think, because most of the gameplay footage you see is like automatic rifles and stuff like that. And then I saw a new gameplay where he's got like an old school Winchester and you see him lever action. I was like, wait, what? I was like, where was this in the gameplay? This looks cool. So they're like, you got rifles, you got sniper rifles, you got pistols, you got shotguns, you got everything you can think of. So they put a big variety so you actually feel like it's a zombie apocalypse. Kind of like how they did the guns in State of Decay. They were just spread around everywhere. I feel like it's going to be like a level-based system. Because I remember I finished the game, and right the day before I finished the game, I went scavenging and I found a 50 caliber round. I was like, oh boy, where's that sniper rifle? But I was like, I gotta go finish this. I think it's gonna be good. I hope it's gonna be good. And I've been anticipating this game for so long because it started in 2013, and it was supposed to be out like 2016, but they withheld it couple extra years, which I'm actually glad because that means they fixed some stuff and didn't give us a crappy game.
Yeah, that can happen. Sorry, continue.
No, you know how I feel about EA. You right. And I've been anticipating so much. I got the collector's edition.
Big or go home. Go big or go home.
Hey, I've been waiting for it. I think it's going to do a good job. This company's done a lot of good games that I've liked before, so I think they're going to do a good job.
All right. It looks like a good game too.
Plus, it's like what else you more? You got zombies, guns, and motorcycle, and the zombie apocalypse.
At this point, you're basically playing Black Summer.
On a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle. Black
in Oregon.
Motorcycles. There you go.
I'm in Oregon riding a motorcycle.
So yeah.
I'm a cowboy.
This game. Anyone else interested in getting this game on the PlayStation?
Yeah, man. When Days Gone comes out, I'll be gone too.
Days Gone, Jacob tomorrow.
He goes from it's like Days Gone to he's gone.
Days Gone.
Day 265. I have not touched paper since the zombies happened.
What about you, Harold? You think you're interested in this game?
It's fucking zombies. Of course I'm gonna buy the game.
Well, damn.
Dang,
shame on me.
Dang.
We're like more than werewolves and zombies. Straight up.
Leah.
That looks interesting.
You ain't gonna play it.
I mean, I'll look at walkthroughs and stuff like that. People playing it.
Yeah,
I'll let you try it.
Good enough. And
Satan.
How do you feel about the undead coming back?
Yes, I've been saying. Well, I think it's fabulous, of course, as always.
The zombies are fabulous. You hear that?
Fabulous. Fabulous zombies. But I don't have
a... see him wearing glitter.
The cat walk down the streets.
I don't have a console, so...
Stiletto heels.
I don't have a console, so I would just be like Clea, watching playthroughs, YouTubers playing it.
Same here.
Can't play it, but I'll watch.
I mean, granted, it does look really fun. If Zed hypes it up for me enough, I'll probably go ahead and buy it myself. I mean, if the gameplay is good too, when I see it, other people play it, if it's like, alright, let me stop watching this, I'm going to actually play this damn game. And that's what I do.
Oh yeah, one thing I want to add is just, it gets like the freakers, the crazy, and like the zombie creatures, whatever.
Yeah, you're right. They're called freakers.
Yeah. It get real crazy at night.
You get
Oh yeah,
freaky?
yeah. No,
That's why I said freaks come out at night.
you no more dad jokes from you. Okay, so thank you for reminding me. There was a thing they said where, at night they're more active, and in the day they're kind of annoyed, so they're less weak. And there's something they said with the cold, they turn out to be more stronger. I don't understand how that happens, but okay. So when the winter time comes, you better be,
Strap.
Call this Sikaru zombie edition.
I swear, bro. Alright.
Go Fist of the North Star on them.
So that was Days Gone. Next is Addams Family cartoon trailer. The animated one. So we'll start off with Satan.
Yes.
This is like basically her movie right here.
It is my movie.
How do you think of the trailer that appeared?
Very artistic.
Very
well
artistic,
done.
yeah.
I love the Tim Burton feel. Tim Burton style. Wednesday Adam, my favorite. Morticia, my mother. No, I'm not just saying it either, because my mom literally looks like her. Like, she has those deep eyes and the huge forehead.
She looks very Frankenstein here.
When she puts on makeup, she looks like Morticia, which is why she never does.
Well, there it is, based on Satan's life.
Based on Satan's life. But yeah, I really loved the style. I loved it, and the colors, the I don't know. This is what a movie is supposed to be like, not like Lion King.
Ooh, damn. That's some Addams Family shade right there.
Like, no, because the colors, even though it's supposed to be, they're supposed to be dim and dark and, all of that, because they're gothic and dark. It feels vibrant. They feel alive.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. They have character.
They got a lot of characters there.
I love the character shapes and all of that, but let's move on. Moving on.
Okay. Harold, how do you feel about this trailer?
I didn't even know there was a trailer for it until I saw it on a YouTube video. I was like, what is this? Okay. Here, just take my money. Take my money.
Please don't throw it at me.
Here's your tip, sir. Hope it's fancy.
Can I pre-order my seat, please? But I like Rizzo was saying, I love the style, I love everything's going. I love the freaking jokes they're coming up with. There's this one joke I'm just waiting to see what happens. It's the joke with the clowns. When Wednesday comes in with all the balloons, she's like, "Hey, what happened to the killer clowns? There's supposed to be killer clowns here." I was like,
She was like, "What is that? What is that?"
That's nice. Right?
There's usually a killer clown behind one of these. It was funny. Nice. I loved it.
So
Zed, my mate.
I want to see Cousin Ned in this one. I haven't seen him yet. The one that's like all covered in hair.
Oh yeah.
Just got the glasses. I forgot the guy's name, but he kind of looks like Frankenstein with the weird bowl cut. He's playing the piano. I like the way they made him look. It looks really cool. And then they had the hand. It's really good. And I liked how they played Battleship.
Right?
That was like my favorite part. He was like, Gomez hanging upside, doing a handstand on his head, trying to get the blood to his head. And they're like,
go, son, do it.
Jacob?
Okay. I will admit that it kind of caught me off guard. I mean, I knew an Addams Family movie was being made because I'm always on Twitter, and I follow animators who animate on the project, but they kind of showcase some name drops. But when the trailer came out, man, I can say that it threw me off a bit because of the character designs. But when I found out that it was based on the old cartoon back then, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I approve of it, and I see the acting, the range it has with the characters and the personality. Oh man, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that movie.
Down with that one.
Yeah, and I love the Addams Family too, so that's a plus.
Good. Clear.
But
Yeah, same thing. You know, I really liked it when I saw it. I really love the Addams family. I think they're kooky and crazy.
See the whole damn thing, someone don't you?
There we go. But there's something funny that I found out about it. Apparently some people are complaining that Gomez isn't sexy enough.
What?
yeah, that's the thing.
This is a kids movie. You who say that, go home. Go back to your porn parody of Addams Family.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
we're probably going Pornhub.
Lamp over here is like disgusted.
So they're
shocked.
basically saying that he's fat.
Yeah.
He's thick.
The funny
Extra.
thing,
Hey,
They
look.
like that he's fat. That's
Morticia
what
likes
they're
him
saying.
thick, so good for her.
the funny
Right.
thing is that they kind of like some of these people kind of expected Gomez to look like the voice actor Oscar Isaac, but like Jacob said, they're more inspired by the original 1938 comic strip, I believe. So that's kind of why, if you look at the comic and you look at the movie, they're...
If they drop another trailer and he looking stacked, I'm gonna be like, yo, you sold out.
Right?
See, that's their fault then. Like they expect something that wasn't promised to them.
Exactly.
It's like Star
They told him
Wars.
from day one they're gonna go with the comic strip. I remember that. I remember when Clea told me about this. She said when it comes out, they were heavily inspired by the comic strip. I said, cool, so it's gonna look like that. And when the trailer came out, I was like, all right, it looks like the comic strip. She tells me this. I'm like, are you kidding me? They told you day one it's gonna look like this, not this other thing you had in your head. Well, you want him to rip his shirt off and have like 6-pack? What do you want?
No, they want to have the 10-packs with another 10-pack.
They want to see him working in the yard with a shirt off. That's what they want.
Muy caliente.
Mi amor.
Mira,
Looking for that Telemundo, my boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
I swear, but I'll be real. I've never seen the Addams Family before. I know their theme song because it's like just way too iconic to like not go over. I mean, I can't really say much. The animation looks pretty good. It looks cool. The animation itself looks pretty smooth. The style itself, it looks interesting enough to catch my attention. I'm not sure what the Addams Family's like overall is, and I don't know if there's like an overall plot for it. I think it's just like a random movie, just like sit down and enjoy it. So I guess that's what I'll do. Just sit down and enjoy the movie. So yeah, Addams Family. And finally, for the quick fire, something real quick. Monkey Punch. Ooh, Lord, hold on. I need to look up his real name. He's been going by the name Monkey Punch for so long. So like how I've been going through like Lamp. So I'm gonna butcher this man's name. So I apologize in advance for pronouncing this man's name wrong. Kazuhiko Kato. I don't know. It's Kazuhiko Kato, best known for his pen name Monkey Punch, is the creator of Lupin the Third. He's made other stuff, but what he's mostly known for is Lupin the Third. He died of leukemia sometime earlier this week.
Yeah.
And that's it for him, man. He just made like one of like the most famous gentleman thief known to the world. I don't know what to say. It's just we lost another great animator, another great storyteller, and one behind like a huge and famous franchise like Lupin the Third. So all I can say is condolences to his family, and I hope he rests well.
He's up there with Lupin, going after Fujiko. You know that.
Yeah, and I guess that'll be it for episode 16.
He's all right, man. I love Lupin too. We're all gonna miss him. I love his stories as
Same
well.
here, man.
But, end it on a happy note. Not in the Quickfire. Remember, next Friday, 26th, Endgame.
And
for those who are watching it early, 25th.
Hey,
Get out.
Hey, Harold, get out.
I can't. It's not 25th yet.
But yeah, Endgame is coming through. Y'all better watch it. You know we're gonna cover it. And all I'm just saying is that Ant-Man
home!
gotta go up this man's booty hole. All I'm saying.
Swiggity swooty.
He's gonna find Uranus.
It's so bad. But yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, Endgame's coming through. You know we're gonna cover it the week after, so look forward to that. Last but not least, we got an announcement from Zed. Go ahead and tell them the
And on to you, Zed.
This is gonna be my last podcast for a while. See where we go from here. Was called in to go clear out a couple nests of vampires and werewolves, so gotta go hunting.
Or you can tell the truth.
Sticking to my persona.
So basically, Zed will be taking a temporary leave, just like Spidey. He won't be here for
a couple months.
No, hey. You want to write me off like I'm dead?
You're not dead.
He won't be here for a few episodes.
It want to be like 2 or 3. All right, so that's like a month and a half.
He'll be gone for 3 months.
So hopefully he'll be able to come down.
I'm gonna throw you in the nest and then I can pike you around.
So hopefully he'll be able to come down eventually to like come back on the podcast and talk with us again. But this is gonna be his last one for a while, so
I'm gonna listen to this later and I'm gonna be crying.
It's been a hard day
without
you, my friend.
And I'll tell you
all about it when I see you again.
Episode 16.
Thank God Kevin's not here. He'd be like, what the fuck is this shit? He'd be like, I'm leaving.
He'll be like this.
Yep. You have a headache. Anyways, happy Easter from all of 6 Frames to y'all. Have a good Sunday and take care of yourselves.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite monster hunter here, Zed. If you like what you heard and you have any questions, email us at SiXFramesPodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is SiXFramesPodcast@gmail.com. If you also like what you heard and you want to hear some of our old stuff, follow us at YouTube at 6 Frames Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Also, you can follow us at Podbean. Another website you can follow us at is Apple Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and rate. We need those ratings. And remember, good hunting.